What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel, and today we've actually got some surprise patch notes for update 3.3, which I thought actually was dropping later this week, but apparently it is actually dropping tomorrow, or technically for me in Australia it is actually dropping today. So I didn't really expect this, and I've already uploaded today, but I thought I may as well cover the patch notes. I will be honest, there's not too much to actually go through, so this is going to be quite a short little video, but I'm actually going to be back later in the week with essentially an update review once I've played it and just kind of give you guys my overall thoughts. So without wasting any time, let's get stuck right into the patch notes. So like I said, update 3.3 is actually going to be dropping tomorrow, March 8th, which for me in Australia is actually technically today. It is 4 AM as I'm recording this, and so later today this will be dropping, which was a bit of a surprise. I was expecting this to drop on Thursday, but it is good to see that it's dropping earlier in the week just so that we can get a bit more playtime before the weekend. Now the main thing in this update is going to be the scoreboard, which they've actually improved, and I'll show that on screen for you guys. They have actually sort of taken our feedback from that first little showcase that they did, and so they have changed it. They've actually split the teams into two, which is obviously how most scoreboards work, and that's, you know, something that I'm not sure why they didn't do that in the first place, to be honest, but that is good to see. And they have also added the deaths on there as well. So for me personally, this scoreboard is now essentially as good as I would hope it to be. For me, it's got all the information that I probably need, and so I am pretty much happy with this scoreboard now, and I'm glad that they've finally got around to doing that. For me, the scoreboard has never been the biggest thing. I don't know why the whole, the entire internet seemed to make it out like this was the worst thing of all time. The previous scoreboard definitely did suck, and I'm glad they've fixed it, but to me, this barely fixes the game. It's like a 1% little change, so I'm kind of glad that we're getting past this now and we can move on to the proper fixes in the future. But with that being said, it is still good to see this being added. Now, one thing that is a little bit disappointing is that this is actually not going to be on the end of round screen yet. This is only available pretty much in the same way that it's available at the moment, where during the match you can pull up your scoreboard, but when the game ends you can't actually see your stats. That is a little bit disappointing. It's taken them however many months to finish this now, and it's still not available at the end of the round, which is, for me personally, when I want it the most. So that is definitely a little bit frustrating, but they've already said they will be sort of implementing that into the next update. So very slow little baby steps here, but at the end of the day, progress is progress. I can't complain that, these fixes are happening. It is taking a lot longer than I would expect it to take, but at this point, any improvement is a good one, honestly. Now, moving on, we're also getting the Steadfast exclusive Legendary Bundle, which for those of you guys who pre-ordered the Gold or Ultimate Editions for the game, as well as anyone who has actually bought the Year 1 Pass just by buying it through the store, for example, and even the EA Play Pro subscribers, you guys will all be getting these skins that are included in the bundle. We get the Zero Resistance skin for McKay, which is definitely one of the coolest skins in the game in my opinion. We're then getting a skin for the K30 and the Magnum. We're getting another Bolty skin, which is definitely kind of strange. I don't know why they're so infatuated with the Bolty. We're getting a new knife, which I assume will be coming with a new takedown animation. I'm not 100% sure though. And then we're also getting a player card background and a player card icon. And this is essentially just like a kind of like a thank you, or I guess a sorry for the way that the game's gone. And this is just going to be exclusive to those of us who have been playing since launch and have pre-ordered these Gold or Ultimate Editions. So essentially anyone moving forward will not be able to get these, which that is definitely pretty cool to have something exclusive in the game for, being around since the start during this very rough period for the game. Now moving on to the actual kind of like patch notes, and this is where this is definitely a little bit disappointing if I'm going to be honest. There's like 5 patches here, and none of these are like really that drastic. There is one that is pretty big, which is they've actually adjusted the aim assist on console, and it says that they've adjusted the aim assist on console to ensure that the system is in effect when analog sticks are at 100% of their range. Previously it was only active at ranges below 100%. Now I think what that means is that when you actually like got the stick all the way to the right, for example, apparently that was kind of turning the aim assist off, so it was only working if your stick was like 75% to the right, for example. That's what I take from that. I don't know if that's true. Like I said, it's 4 AM for me. I've literally just woken up right now, but reading that's what I take from what they've said there, and I think that should hopefully be a big fix, because for any of you guys who play on console, you'll know the aim assist in this game is essentially non-existent. It's probably going to feel weird actually having aim assist now, because I've kind of just gotten used to having no aim assist. So that is definitely a big fix there. But as for the other stuff, they have fixed a game crash that could occur on Origin or Xbox One when signing in or out while using an Xbox One controller. They've changed the chat key binding, so it no longer requires a game restart to take effect. so I don't even really know what that means, to be honest. They fixed a bug where takedowns wouldn't result in a kill on Xbox One and PlayStation 4, and then they've established a new location for their EU data center as Frankfurt. So I assume that just means that there is essentially like a Frankfurt server now, so I guess anyone close to that location will probably have better ping. I assume that's what that means, but I'm actually not 100% sure. Now, that is literally it for every single item in these patch notes. Like I said, this is a very, very small update considering it's been, what, 2 months since we've really had an update. It is getting very frustrating with, you know, waiting so long for something so small. I think we were all kind of expecting the first update to be, you know, a pretty solid one with a lot of bigger fixes and, you know, something just a little bit more than what we have got in this update. What I will say is that sometimes they often tend to do this like pre-update patch notes, then the update actually drops and then they drop the official patch notes, and that generally tends to have a lot more stuff in it. So that could be the case again for this one. This might just be like a quick little overview of what we're getting, and then in the actual patch notes there might be more. So once the update drops, and if we do get a lot more, then I will make a follow-up video on that one. And then like I said, later this week I will be doing essentially like an update review, I guess. So I'll keep you guys updated, but at least taking a look at what they've given us this morning. This is definitely a little bit frustrating with just how little there actually is in this update. It feels like we've waited essentially 3 months, and really the last proper updates were before Christmas, and we're now getting towards the middle of March and this is all we're getting. So it is definitely a little bit frustrating, but they did say right at the very start of the patch notes that the next update in April will include a larger set of changes and fixes. Voice chat will be happening in that update. They're also refreshing the scoreboard again, so that will get another improvement. They're making a lot of changes for the weaponry on vehicles, which is definitely a big fix for me because the vehicles in this game are definitely very frustrating at times. And so I do think that April should be at least a solid, or you know, a semi-decent update. So it appears we're going to have to wait another month until we get anything substantial, but at the end of the day, no matter how small this update is, everything they mentioned in here is still, you know, it's still decent, so I can't complain too much. At the end of the day, I don't think the game's going to be in even remotely a good state until Season 1 starts, so I'm kind of not expecting massive updates until then, to be honest. But yeah, considering how long we've waited, it is definitely a little bit frustrating. But anyway, guys, that is going to do it for this one. Like I said, I will be back later in the week with essentially a review of the update, just giving you guys my thoughts once I've actually had some time to sit down and play it. So keep your eyes peeled for that one. And then despite the fact that there's very little news to talk about, whenever we do get any more news about the game, you can definitely expect to see it here on the channel. So if you are new to the channel, then definitely hit that subscribe button and turn on those notifications so you don't miss out on any upcoming Battlefield 2042 content. If you want to support the content that I make here on YouTube, then do consider becoming a channel member. But with that being said, thank you all very much for watching. You guys have a great day, and I'll see you all out there on the battlefield.